Today's race day replay is brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs. What are you running?
And Josh Kluger from Ocala, Florida, line up next to each other just past the burnout box. Box body Mustang, classic 1969 Camaro.
Certainly going to make for a very thrilling conclusion to the NMCA season, at least here in Mickey Thompson Radio Wars. That is for certain.
Wow, both of them in simultaneous wheel stands to the stripe. It's Josh Kluger, 4017, 193.49 miles an hour. Both of them were putting the coals to it, putting the spurs to it at the same time. They blew into low-flying wheel stands, and Josh Kluger able to make a quicker run at 4017, 193 miles an hour. The reaction times within 4 thousandths. This car in the 440s. Will Bujinga get too greedy? Will DeMarco get too greedy? Radial tires appear as Manny Bujinga's second stage in the final round of VP Racing Field Street Outlaw. Oh, Manny's car, a little wheel stand. Andrew Marco trying to hold off, and it's going to be Manny. 438.6, 168. DeMarco quicker to 60, quicker to 330, but the turbo car in the back half of the 660-foot run. Cool thing about the final round in this category is it pretty much gives you the breadth and width of what the NA10.5 category could be. Leonard Long, 1995 Mustang, 408 cubic inch small block Ford engine. More aerodynamic, lighter car, very much lighter than Dave Thiessen's 611 cubic inch powered 69 Firebird. Pick their direction, and it has led him this far in this race. Dave Thiessen looking for one more round. Leonard Long looking to leave on Thiessen. Long has problems down low again. The 60-foot going away. We have something going on in the clutch area of the race car as Dave Thiessen just brutalizes the racetrack. 796 with a 6, 174.48 miles an hour.
Got Doug Wright here in the Summit Lane, that beautiful 64 Belvedere, 925 index, and Rick Newmeyer, 63 Fury, the 11.0 index.
63 Fury for Rick Newmeyer with a Max Wedge style scoop on it. Wright running the super stock style scoop on his 64 Belvedere. Come on, man, this is awesome. Final round, ATI Performance, Nostalgia Super Stock. Newby, Rick Newmeyer trying to stave off Doug Wright, but Wright will not be denied. 930 with a 5, 130.69 miles an hour. And
here in our Nostalgia Muscle Car category,
Detroit True Track Nostalgia Muscle Car, Andy Warren and Carl Gilbert.
And one of the baddest dudes in all of NMCA racing here in the Budweiser lane, Andy Warren on the 10.0 index, Carl Gilbert on the 10.50 index.
Warren trying to lock up yet another title in Detroit True Track Nostalgia Muscle Car. Don't think he can clinch here, but winning this race would put him in a very nearly unassailable position going into Indianapolis next month. Carl Gilbert says, see that big old tank of yours? I'm going to hold it off to the finish line. Gilbert, well off the launch. Gilbert at the stripe. The win light is coming on once again for Andy Warren. All that dude does is win. 10:03.5, 131 miles an hour, and by 77 ten-thousandths of a second at the stripe, Andy. Darrell's been on point all day long. Pennington's been on point all day long. Two very different cars competing in the growing popularity of this class. Let's see why here in the starting line. Boreski, 93 in the 8th mile, man. Ricky Pennington trying to run down the Oldsmobile, and it's Darrell Boreski for his second win of the 2017 season. 11:45.9, 11:45 dial-in. Congratulations to Darrell. Very well done. He's a guy that's likely going to be headed up running the U.S. Nationals in stock, so he's going to come in with a victor and a hot hand up there. Awesome.
Now the final coming at us in our top sportsman shootout. Got Chris
PackRacingSprings.com, the sponsor. Osborne is an engineer helping to develop those high-quality racing springs that Pack sells. BSI, the sponsor, on the side of Dave Granger's 51 Henry J. Top Sportsman final, here we go. Whoa, Osborne spins on the side of the, wow. Osborne spun a three-quarter donut, and Dave Granger goes 757, 188, and collects the win light. Chris Osborne's car got out, spun the tires, pitched sideways.
So now Magnafuel Open Comp Final coming at us. Familiar car down there in the Summit Lane with Susan Roush McClanagan. 2010 Mustang down the 946. Alongside Larry Geddes' 1990 Fox body. Leaving first on a 1083.
Extreme Street, your final will be run at 8 p.m. Extreme Street final to be run at 8 p.m. 20 minutes from now.
Well, here comes Susan. Smacking Larry around on the tree. Is she going to get around him? Yes, she does. 948 on the 46. 130 miles an hour down there for Susan Roush.
She's going to keep it tied down. Carl Tasca will be second to stage. Carl Tasca pulls the wheel stand this time, and David Barton trying to stay out ahead of the Ford product. Tasca's in, and it's going to be Barton 8-12 of the 6, just brutal. 164.95. And Josh Bryant only separated by 2.5 tenths of a second.
I suppose we may have crossed the line when we started talking about stealing beer from babies. That might have been.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
And that's theater of the mind. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, we got a good light here, and we've got a great light as well. And a proper drag race here in the final round. Corda giving chase top end. Al Corda pulls it out of his hat, 10:08, 124 miles.
The final round here in Chevrolet Performance stock. They're lined up and gone. Jesse Wilson puts a hole shot on Haley Rounsavall. Jesse Wilson puts a car length on Haley. 1,000 feet down the racetrack, Jesse Wilson goes 10-15-7, 131.58 miles an hour to claim the Victor Trophy, the last competition pass of the 2017 16th running of the NMCA Honeywell Garrett Muscle Car Nationals. All-American Muscle Car Nationals presented by E3 Spark Plugs.
I'm looking for Alex Hayes to get the whole shot win here personally. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
We're about to find out. Jesse Coulter brings that terrifying third-gen Camaro into the pre-stage beam. The final pass of the event, the sun dipping down below the treetops as the pre-stage bulbs are lit. Well, both drivers sitting still. It's Hayes committing first to fully stage. Coulter bumps the car in. Off we go. Huge hole shot for Alex Hayes, but isn't enough? Jesse Coulter pulls up at the stripe, and it is Coulter. 471.8 at 151 miles an hour. Alex Hayes was 478.6 at 147.
Top Sport to shoot out to the staging lanes.
Here it is, the final round in Dart Pro Stock. Kevin Lawrence and Rob Pierce, the Dart Machinery Pro Stock category, showcasing high-winding, screaming engines, 400 cubic inch jobs, and whatever body styles that the competitors want to put them in. Remember, the car went 7-11 with a parachute out last time.
Yeah, let's see what he's got for us here in the final round of Dart Machinery Pro Stock. Kevin Lawrence and Rob Pierce getting it done.
Wow, trouble for both drivers down low, and Kevin Lawrence has to shut it off. So Rob Pierce from Moline goes 7:29.6 at 186 miles an hour and collects the Victor Trophy for the Dart. So Baskin and Andy go down to the top end of the racetrack. Your winner, an ARP Nitrous Pro Street is going to be Andy Vogt, 7:39.7 at 185 miles an hour. As Don Baskin goes 7:41 at 183. A great drag race to cap things off. I don't think Hampshire wants to get a losing streak started here in final round. See if he can break that.
Yeah, no, that is not the place you want to start a losing streak. You don't really want to start one anywhere, but it hurts a little more in the finals. So Hampshire moving on into the beams for all the marbles here this weekend. The VP Race Street Pro.
Banica shakes the tire, and Jason Hampshire pedals a race car. It's Hampshire, 386.3, 196 miles an hour. Bill Banica was 0:17 off the starting line. Just brutal, but it's Jason Hampshire. 981 short time, 259 to the 330, and that's where he got his advantage, and he held on to it through the stripe. 386.3, 196. Congratulations to Jason Hampshire and the entire Hampshire family for their win this weekend at VP Race.
E3 Diamond Fire technology maximizes the fuel burn for more power and better fuel efficiency.
Here at John Force Racing, we run only E3 spark plugs. What are you running?